Welcome to Momentum Monday. Today is June 2nd, 2024. Howard, where can we find you right now?
I am in cottage country, Ontario, Muskoka.
Are you there for fishing or what's going on?
I might fish tomorrow. I'm just out seeing a couple friends with the fam. We had a wedding up in Toronto, so snuck north of the border here. But
That's nice.
get sick, free medicine.
It looks really, really green behind you.
Yeah, very green. There's the lake. You see the lake? Anyway,
Yeah, nice. It looks beautiful.
the
Um,
catch us up on the markets and what you're
yeah,
working
the
on.
market have been just volatility is picking up, definitely last week, um, especially in tech, as you can see here. Um, Nasdaq was basically down, 3 days in a row. And if it wasn't for that quick 20-minute bounce at the end of the week, it would have looked a lot uglier. And obviously, not all tech stocks are made equal. Software has been doing a lot weaker compared to the rest. Here's IGV, the tech software ETF. It actually made new year-to-date lows on Friday. So significantly weak considering that the S&Ps and the QQQs are near all-time highs. This one is like about what, 15% below its 52-week highs, below its 200-day moving average, and making new year-to-date low. So this is a significant relative weakness, as you can see here by the relative strength rating, how it's dropping. But the good news is that we continue to see sector rotations in the market, and then when one or two leading sector just consolidate sideways or pull back, usually another steps up. And we saw that last week with retail, which was one of the weakest sectors here to date. And last week we saw a significant bounce towards the end of the week. So definitely we saw some rotation, obviously in some of the more defensive sectors as well, like utilities and consumer staples, which is not really something that you want to be rooting for, rotation into defensive sector. But the reality is that the money is not really leaving the market. It is just rotating between sectors. Here's the 10-year yield. It pulled back a little bit Thursday, Friday, and then which helped small caps to bounce. And now small caps, they continue to be in that big range here. So I'm thinking that if we ever go back above 210, then we're really going to see that big trending move higher, like we saw here when the Fed hinted that interest rate hikes are probably done for this cycle. And then we saw a move like from 165 to 205, like a 20%, 25% move in a month or so. So we probably see something similar once this range is digested well and it really breaks out above 210. Here's the weekly perspective. It's a really long base. So once we really break out, which means interest rates are gonna drop, and probably the dollar is gonna drop, we can really see some really trending moves here out of this sector.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think the rates, there's just some uncertainty, right? Like the spending, if you look at Lulu and Starbucks, I mean, so that's good that the retail bounced. I mean, if you look at Lulu and Starbucks, it's just people are being more discerning. They're still spending, but they're also saying, it's not like Costco's getting hurt or Walmart, but if you're not in the sweet spot, um, retailers have a choice. Like consumers are just being a little pickier.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
there's some winners, there's some losers in the retail space, obviously. Something like INF, like I haven't been into their stores in
is that a
years.
real estate play or is there something else going on? Like,
I
again,
mean,
I shop at these.
everything that what I see is like a small float. I mean, we can definitely see that their earnings have been improving, and probably it was very low valuation. Even now, it's like a P of 22. So you can imagine that like a year and a half ago how much lower that was.
Yeah, a lot of
So
leverage in things with all the stores. If you get it right, it's a big
exactly.
country.
And so we've seen similar, not similar, but
But
likely moves like this in other retailers as
iPad,
well.
yeah.
Obviously, a lot of the shoe stocks have done really well. Here is Crocs continuing to make new 52-week highs. On broke out to new 52-week highs. He has been just following through. Obviously, DEC, the big one that continues to make new highs. So consumer is really spending, but it's spending selectively, and there are definitely funds investing in consumer related stocks and are supporting them on the dips. But
Yeah.
these
I mean,
they're mostly newer names. Yeah.
and where everybody was crowded, software is eating the world is it's not so simple anymore. That trade is just, 2-3 years now up and down sideways mostly, and pretty much nowhere since 2021. So AI is adding some confusion there. All this money is getting poured in AI, and I think even the corporations are like, okay, maybe we can do a lot of this stuff within our own systems with ChatGPT and OpenAI. So I think a lot of spending is just kind of in limbo. So yeah, I mean, you can't just there's good and bad out there, but real software, the software stocks are just getting hammered. But again, they're trading at a high multiple, saying, if you're going to own software, if it's not growing faster than Nvidia, why would you own it, right?
Yeah.
Like, so it's a pretty simple statement. Like, if you're not Nvidia right now, and if your growth isn't as good as Nvidia, it's just like, just own Nvidia or own the index. So anything that's not growing as fast as Nvidia and carries a high price to sales ratio is just getting hammered. So I just think you got to just be a little more careful. But
Yeah, the market is definitely sensitive to valuation, as we saw with Dell last week. When on the earnings call, one of the analysts mentioned that, so you have zero growth outside of AI servers, and in AI servers you have basically no profits so far on them. So the stock was really crushed on Friday. Found support near its rising 50 days. So it'll probably take some time to consolidate. But this is it's been one of the major AI plays. Servers. We have Dell. We have SMCI. Obviously, it's not a new story. It's been going up for a while. And also we have the other server play HP. It's been kind of going sideways forever. So it'll be really interesting to see they report earnings this week, if they can finally break out, since they're lagging really severely behind Dell and SMCI in terms of market performance. And from what I read, their products are
yeah,
pretty
20
solid.
billion. So they've kind of spun out a lot of the stuff. Yes, I don't have any really big ideas this week. I think they're just kind of semis have been, nothing's changed. The rotation is there. The indexes are holding up well. It's a natural few-day pullback. And it's kind of just a stock picker's market right now.
Definitely stock pickers market. To me, it'll be interesting to see as we have this tight range consolidation in something like AMD, to see it in which direction it will be resolved, because you can make the argument for both sides. So to me, it'll be interesting to see if it can actually, if it goes back above 169, 170, it can probably start building the right side of a new base. And if it breaks down below its 20-day here, it can probably pull back towards 150, towards 200-day again. Tesla is also looking kind of similar. You can see here on a weekly, super tight range near its 50-day moving average. So it'll be interesting to see in which way it will resolve. So there are definitely some interesting short-term setups. Maybe nothing longer term as of right now that I see, but a few interesting short-term setups. Another one that I'm looking is Twist. We had big earnings breakout here. Now it pulled back to a potential support here around 40 that used to be a resistance. Now it might act as support.
What's the weekly look like?
Here's the weekly.
A little
So
messy.
a little
Yeah.
bit messy, but if it's going to be a new uptrend, it should hold here. If it doesn't hold here, obviously it will be a choppy range, so no reason to get involved.
Yeah, I don't know the company, but yeah, it's the same old, right? Like you're saying, it's a big country. Some of the restaurants are doing well, some of the retailers are doing well. Tech is
I
still.
mean, I don't know how Cava is doing well. I went once. I didn't have a
I
great
don't love the
experience
food, so
in La
again,
Jolla, but that didn't stop them from, being an amazing stock. Ever since it kind of cleared its year-to-date view up here around 40, it more than doubled.
yeah,
Even though their earnings continue to be kind of lackluster, the dips continue to get bought. Um, and obviously people are seeing in it potentially the next Chipotle. I don't think they're the next Chipotle, but there are enough funds who invest with
yeah.
that thesis, and they can control the price action as of right now.
Yeah, for me, because I still will do like because of my diet, I'll still like have a chicken bowl, right, with a tiny bit of rice and cheese and some guac. So I just don't go to Cava. It just doesn't interest me, so I don't know the product.
Yeah.
Same with
Here's
Sweet.
Sweet Green. I've
Probably,
never seen a
but
location in
that's a
San
hell of a
Diego.
base from the IPO, so it's digested.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Two
interesting.
big earnings breakout, and now we'll see it if it will hold its rising 20, rising 50-day moving
But
average.
it could be short squeezes too. I don't know, but they were based on it was based on earnings, and it's not like they're
Yeah,
going
based on
to
earnings.
have earnings.
Still
Still,
losing money, but
I don't know how
people are
in this
investing.
market when you're losing money. I just in this market, if you're still losing money, it's just again you got to have really know the story here. I don't. I'm not a user of the pro. I don't eat at Sweetgreens, but man, people bidding up non-profitable businesses. I mean, Wingstop's printing money, Chipotle prints money, Texas
Yeah.
Road, like they're printing money. But again, what's Wingstop? $4 earnings per share and is trading at $400. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's a pretty steep valuation.
Times earnings for wings. I guess they
Well,
have a secret formula. There's cocaine in those. Anyways, wow. Congrats to the restaurant holders. Uh,
yeah.
uh, yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but I think it must be their price right, or I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's again like
It's a
check.
momentum stock. That is owned by many momentum fund, and until it really breaks the trends, they're gonna buy the dips until something really bad happens. The trend breaks, and then all of them are gonna rush for the exits, and we're gonna see a 50% drop very quickly.
Yeah.
Uh,
What, so you're working on some other things? Share with us. You're telling me
yeah.
about some.
So in the past, few months, I worked on some children's books. Obviously, my son is too young for them. He's only 3 months old. But I created a few children's books for probably, kids aged 2 to 12, 2 to 14. Um, that I think would be really useful. Like one of them is investing for babies, just teaching the basics of investing. Um, and here's how I explain it. The language of money is an essential skill everyone can learn. Help your kid have a head start and inspire them about the possibilities of investing while reading this book together. I think it's a pretty solid understanding of some basic investing concepts that a 5-year-old would understand, maybe even a 3-year-old. And then another one that I created, trading for babies. Obviously, since I've been doing this for so long, I try to explain it in terms that anyone can understand. I hope I was successful. I still need to see some feedback on that. And my thinking on trading is that, if you really learn the language of markets, the language of trading, you can really choose you or your kid can choose any profession in the world that you want, because you can always use trading to supplement your income. So that's why I think that helping kids to learn those skills at a young age is one of the biggest gifts you can give them. So I created this book, as just like a
That's a
foundation,
smart. I wish I
as a
had done.
beginning, and I hope
Have you
it's
set up
helpful.
a custody account yet for the baby or no?
I set up a 529 educational account that I just uh, put the money there in the S&P 500, since I'm not allowed to really buy individual stocks in that.
That's good
And
advice.
hopefully, I think it'll have enough money to cover his education by the time he's 18. So hopefully he wants to
Got
study.
one more, right? Meditation.
And then I did one more meditation for babies. I say one of the most important life skills is the ability to calm your mind before, during, after stressful situation. Learning the basics of meditation from a young age can give your kids an essential skill and prepare them for life. And also very cute book, very easy to understand. So I hope people that get to experience that with their kids, will have fun. So yeah, that's what I've been working really for the past few months. That project is finally ready. So I just hit publish, and I hope it's just beneficial to anyone who buys it. I don't really
Good.
have
What
any
did you make
expectations.
those images? What'd you AI those images?
Yeah, for all the images I used AI. Text is mine, but the images I used AI. So yeah.
Good man. All right, congrats, buddy. All right, everybody. Ivan's new products. They're always just a bargain. And the trend is your friend, man. Like there's some winners out there. They've been on my screen, but congrats to those that have been following them. All right, have a great week, Ivan. We'll see
All right,
everybody.
Howard. See you next week. Bye.